I'm going to invite Sue to come back up. 2 years ago, we started an award called the Burdette Leadership Award in recognition of the first woman to serve as chairperson of 10 at the Top, Carol Burdette. And that award started, and Minor Shaw was the recipient of the first year, and then we had it again last year, and this year, unfortunately, Carol is also now, if you know Carol, she likes to wear lots of hats, and the hat she's wearing right now is as the regional chair or director.
District governor.
District governor, thank you, for the Rotary. And so she is actually in Virginia at a Rotary conference, and she asked for Sue to fill in for her in presenting this award. So I'm going to turn it back over to Sue.
I am certainly very lucky and very honored to be able to present the Carol Burdette Leadership Award on her behalf. Our recipient today is someone who is constantly giving her time and talents to those she serves. When Carol first met this recipient, they were both involved in municipal government, serving their constituents and government at the place closest to their communities. The residents of the city of Greenville were blessed to have had this person as a member of city council. She truly is a servant leader working with many nonprofits, institutions, and businesses on behalf of those living in Greenville, working on issues such as housing, community development, and positive relations among all residents. Then this recipient spread her wings, and she ran for the House of Representatives, where she could serve a greater number of residents and influence decisions being made throughout South Carolina. Her work to represent all the people was carried to the State House, where she has continued to work and make a difference. By now, I think many of you may have guessed that I'm referring to the Honorable Chandra Dillard, a longtime friend and colleague and leader in this Upstate. While Chandra makes her way to the front, I want to say on Carol's behalf, Chandra, keep up the great work that you're doing in Columbia.
Thank you and congratulations, Chandra. The Welling Award for Regional Collaboration started in 2012. Many of you who know the history of our organization have heard this before, but there was a meeting, I guess, back in 2005, 2006, somewhere in that time frame, and Irv Welling wasn't there. And so when it was over, he found out that he was the chair of 10 at the Top, then known as Upstate Together. And so he, knowing Irv, plugged on and continued and served in that role. And then once we officially incorporated in 2009, he became the founding chair of 10 at the Top and served in that role through 2011. And at that time, the board of directors wanted to recognize and honor Irv, so we created the Welling Award for Regional Collaboration that would be given each year to someone across the Upstate who does great things to create and foster collaboration in this region. The first award was given, very much deserving, to someone who's here, Erwin Madry. Other recipients who are here today, while not really a person but a group, GSP Airport, and I know we have a number of folks from the airport who are here. They were a recipient, and then Phil Hughes received the award a number of years ago as well. So it is my pleasure to turn over the program to Irv to give our recipient for today.
In all fairness, to know why I wasn't there at that meeting. I was out having surgery. So it wasn't that I was diligent in not not there. But no good deed goes unpunished. It was a pleasure to be involved in Senator Top from the very get-go. I could tell you a lot of stories, and it's just really overwhelming to come back to a meeting like this every year and see how much progress we've made as an upstate region. And I'm particularly thankful to have been able to have recruited Dean, 8 years ago, I believe, and he's done a tremendous job. He's been a recipient of this award too. I would also like to thank RP for his comments. That were great, and I would encourage you to do what he asked you to do. Bring an extra friend with you next year. So, do it. The criteria for this award are having made a consistent and sustained, been a consistent and sustained champion of upstate region over an extended period of time with a lot of impact, and to have notably advanced regionalism in the upstate. This year, we have 2 recipients, and there's some symmetry to all of this that you'll see. First of all, both of these recipients were founding board members. They have both been very involved and committed with Senator Top from the very get-go. They both embraced regionalism from the very beginning and end of Senator Top, and have been stellar examples both to the importance of regionalism and to supporting and living it. And truly, they both have. They both worked tirelessly behind the scenes over many years in leadership roles. Both exemplify the criteria I just named. And I really appreciate the friendship of both of these guys. Let's stop and think about that, because friendship is really an important byproduct or an ingredient of regionalism. So, and there's one other thing in terms of symmetry. Both of these folks are mayors. So I would like to ask Terrence Roberts and Rick Gander to come to the podium.
Congratulations, and I will tell you that it was started as an accident that both Terrence and Rick were up here speaking, and it just kind of happened that way as this went. But I think you saw, and they are very much great leaders here in our region, and certainly deserving of being recognized, as Chandra is as well. So, you know, this is a great event. We give awards, we celebrate, we toast, and then we give away money. So it gets even better. The Elevate Upstate grant started in 2013 as part of our community vibrancy task force. And Terrence was one of the original co-chairs, along with Nancy Whitworth from the city of Greenville, and Torrance Inman from the Union Chamber of Commerce. And when we started our initiatives and our task forces in 2011, they said, you know, there are communities all over the country doing great things to grow vibrancy. And some are here in the upstate, some in South Carolina, but some all over. And could we create kind of a list or an inventory of those great efforts, of some of the things that maybe could be replicated or, you know, done here in our region, and maybe even we create like a book or a list, and then we do a workshop where we bring some of those folks here. And that was in 2011. It took us 2 years. We partnered with the USC Upstate classes at the university, and their students went out and found these initiatives and great things. And it's still on our website, the book of 50 great ideas for growing vibrancy in your community. And so we were going to bring 10 of these folks in. We had folks from Texas, from California, a number from South Carolina, North Carolina, other places. And we were about 3 weeks before that. And Phil Hughes had been one of the mentors of the students at USC Upstate. And about 3 weeks before, he called me and said, you know, this is great, I'm excited, we're going to have these workshops, it's wonderful, but that's not enough. We need to make sure that we have some of these initiatives that come and happen in our region. And for any of you who run a nonprofit, you know that when a board member calls, usually the next line is, and you need to go do X. Right? So, but that wasn't what Phil said. Phil said, I'm going to do X, which took us about a day. I went up to his office the next day, and within an hour, we had outlined basically what became the Elevate Upstate grants. And he said, initially, I'm going to commit $10,000 a year, 2 grants of $5,000 each for vibrancy initiatives here in the Upstate. And people can use the Great Ideas book, they can find their own, but really have initiatives that are helping to create a sense of place in our Upstate region. And so the first year we had almost 30 applicants, and we gave out, Phil was very supportive and generous. He didn't give 2 grants, he gave 3. So already he had started it even expanding and growing. And then it continued the next year and on and on. And every year Phil has been gracious. He's given the $10,000 and more. And so far in 5 years of grants, we have awarded 21 grants for $67,000. So do the math, that's a little bit more than that. And so last year, as we were going into this year, we talked, and Kimbrell Hughes is now supporting and helping with this initiative as well. And we said, well, it actually wasn't very hard for him to recommit. I don't think he's seeing the great value and believes in this so much. And so Phil committed last year for another 5 years. So this is the start of our second 5 years of doing the Elevate Upstate grants. And this year we had Dewey Evans, our program manager, who managed 26 applications. So there are so many great initiatives out there. And our committee was made up of Ingo Angemeyer, Terrence Roberts, and Phil, and did the selections.
I'm a little bit embarrassed. It seems to be very respectful of me, and I appreciate it, and I'm glad to do this, but it's been said before by others that it's the other people that matter. I'm just a small chain link, but look at what 10 to Top does. They're taking in 26 grants and applications. They have workshops for what they're looking for. There's been put together a whole thing by the committee of 10 to Top of how to start your own program, the book of 50 different ideas. And that's a lot of work to get to this little chain link that I am, is the money, the source. But then it goes out to the wonderful people you see. Look at how many people are involved in Be Smart. There are that many more involved in every single application. So my greatest, I think, pleasure is not only what you see as a result, and the best things are ones you've just heard Maddie go, that will continue on next year. When Mayor Greer started with the International Festival, it continues to continue on. We just want to be the seed money to start something that's great, that was first recognized by 10 to Top, but is executed by everyone else. And thank you all for your support and being here. Won't take any more time. It's an honor to be able to do this, and it is an easy decision being, and look forward to doing it for a long time. Thank you very much.